Alright, welcome back to Spy X Family, Anime Review Episode 30. I'm reviewing the 39th episode of the series, which is another one of these two-story ones. Avoid getting the Tonitrus bolts and ... Memories 1. Besides, and then apparently got expelled and joined a bike gang, basically a rebel gang, and then he got arrested for trying to rebel against the government. And this all started because he forgot his handkerchief. I'm like, that sounds so stupid. It's like, I get the fact the whole handkerchiefs thing. It's just that you saying these things you use to dry your hands with. I would rather use paper towel or hand dryer. Why would I use my own? Something I use to blow my nose with to dry my hands. This makes no sense at all. Yeah, from my perspective, this is completely unnecessary. The handkerchief thing nowadays is mostly used to blow people's noses, or as a bandit's mask, or at least some kind of mask per se. That's kind of, or people wear handkerchiefs, the handkerchief bandanas, basically on their heads for various reasons. So apparently, because Anya thought she had two, gave one of hers to Donovan, Damien, a boy she doesn't like very much, but he has a crush on her. Also, before continuing here, starting this episode, Danny Chambers is not the voice actor for Becky Bell, Anya's best friend. Yes, because the fact the actress herself needs to go through voice therapy, for this season she's taken over by Emily Knives. You're like, what? Voice therapy? Yeah, apparently her voice has been hurting her, so she's going through voice therapy, so she has to do very little voice acting right now until her voice is taken care of. Which, okay. And that was a good choice. I at least get respect for that. And Anya gets the bolt because she forgot her other handkerchief. And Damien's like, oh yeah, buy him a cake. At one point, basically, because of like, Damien like, oh, reveal what's going on here. They would got more bolts. And Anya decided to avoid that by having not say anything at all. So then Olga leaves, and then Anya gets home with a bolt. And Lloyd collapses. And that's the first half of the episode. You're like, really? Yeah, really. And apparently mentioned she's been sick for all this time. And you might be thinking, is this major character's... Oh, this is Anya's second Tonitrus bolt. The last she achieved back in episode 6 of season 1. She does appear a couple other times, but mostly but she doesn't play a big role like she did this one episode. And then we flash back to Lloyd's backstory randomly, where we're in the second story where Lloyd is playing soldier with his friends, and then of course he gets some croquet, and I'll help the boys out of the war, and then he comes home, and then of course his father's upset with him, like, oh yeah, there won't be a war, like you should basically just pray for peace, and of course Lloyd's father smacks him. Yep, he smacks him, and then later on, of course, he gives money to go to a fair, well, actually for books, but in my equipment for those toy stuff. So, and then of course, Ron's going to fair with him, but then he's off to the border, and the croquet lady, where they mention, oh yeah, basically he wants to earn this amount of money per day, working just to pay his father back, which because he spent the money on equipment to play war. And then knowing after this, bombs start dropping. Because basically Ostalis has invaded the country. Starting off what is referred to as the Second Unification War. Yeah, this kicks it off. I should point out though, the arc itself, like they just kicked this off just this episode and wraps up in 2 episodes. It is interesting though the fact that, oh by the way, Lloyd's father, they mentioned he disappeared. Not knowing exactly what happened with him. Oh, and the arc is every episode chapter 63, so yeah, basically with the very next episode. Not exactly the next episode per se, but 2 episodes from now. You're thinking, like, the whole thing with this arc is kind of interesting. The whole idea of exploring Lloyd's backstory is interesting, to say the least. And this is hints at his backstory. Also, it's listed his father disappeared after the bombing incident. The croquet was killed in the bombing. After Lloyd, we'll find out what happened with him next week. Actually, more like this coming Saturday, mostly. Yep. Oh, in case you're curious, though, the manga has released, as of right now, 123 chapters. This episode went to chapter 62. I'm trying to think. I think that's, let's see, 40 is 102, 50 is 112. I think it's a total number about 62 chapters left to go. Yeah. And I think I did hear something that this season is confirmed to be, I think it's, let me take a look here about that one. That is going to be, oh, excuse me. Spy X is confirmed to be 13 episodes. Like, really? Yeah, really. 13 episodes. So, since we're 2 episodes in, which means we have exactly about 11 left to go. And then we're done. Yep. But not much of this episode is really good. So, I'm going to save Sentai for later. Because it's real late right now. Along with the new commentator. Along with three anime. 2 basically new episodes. The other one's basically interview schedule. It is. You'll find out later, okay? So see you tomorrow. Bye.